Hi. I just really had a lot on my heart tonight, and I just wanted to kind of take a chance and just share it, let it all out. So, I just got married on July 31st, and to be honest, this is the first relationship that I've had where the man was not bound by pornography. And I am really grateful for the deliverance of my husband from that. It happened before he met me. And I just wanted to share a little bit with my brothers about pornography and like a woman's view on it and what it does to a woman. So when a young man's young and he first gets exposed to pornography, it could be any avenue nowadays. Before, it was really hard. Somebody had to pass you a magazine, or somebody had a video and they circulated it throughout their friend circle. But now, like, you can end up seeing it on accident. Like with the smartphones and social media and the things that are available. I've been looking for like online shopping, and stuff has popped up that I can never unsee. And I wasn't even trying to go there. And it's just so available and so in your face and so sneaky the way it pops up. And so I know that it's easy for young men to get lured into that, especially young men who have issues with loneliness, or just they feel broken or rejected. The women in pornography, it's like you never have to worry about anything. They're always there. They're always willing. You can have anyone you want, any race you want, any type of woman you want. And they're just there for you. And what it does when you are watching that stuff constantly, it creates a selfishness in a man's sexuality. And there's some men where it got to the point where they were with real women and they couldn't even go through with it. It was like they had to have the pornography because it affects your brain like heroin. You'll start watching a little bit and then it lures you in. At first, it might not be an addiction. It might not be an all-out struggle with the spirit of perversion, but you'll watch it a few times, and then once, some people have done that. They've watched it, it's been a casual thing, it hasn't sucked them in. But then there's some men who get addicted, and there's some men who get bound up by that spirit of perversion, and what happens is you can't just watch it once in a while anymore. It lures you in, and then you have to watch more to get the same effect. And then you have to watch more weirder and weirder stuff and more intense stuff, and then pretty soon your sexuality is broken. And when you try to be in a relationship with a regular woman, you're going to be selfish in certain areas of your life because you see women as an object. And even if you fall in love, and even if you think you have the most beautiful woman you've ever met, after a while, that newness of the relationship will wear off and that craving will come back. And one day, your girl, your wife, whoever is going to find that time where you forgot to erase your history. And they're going to see what you've been looking at. And that's happened to me in my past. And let me tell you, it broke my heart. It made me feel not good enough. It made me feel like no matter how I look or what I do, I'll never measure up to what these men really wanted. And the Lord gave me a dream one time because I've been so hurt by pornography in my life, in my relationships, and perversion has just been a theme. And the Lord gave me a dream one time, and it's pretty graphic, and so, but I'm just going to tell you, there was a woman on a table. It was like a kitchen table, and she was naked, and she had the body of a woman but the face of a child. And she was presented on a kitchen table, and what that represented, the Lord showed me later on, was that it was on display. It was like to be consumed, like for this woman to be consumed. And there was all these men standing around the woman on the table, and she was being raped by an unseen force. Okay, so here's this woman on a table for the offering up for these men who were watching her, right? Pornography. The men are watching these women in their pornography, and their little girls inside. In my dream, the woman had a face of a little girl because it's like they're not healed. They're not whole. These women that are in these movies, they're not whole inside. They might act like they like it, but you know what? Their heart hurts, and there's things they're going through. Just think, like, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your sister? What if that was your friend from school that you were close to? Would you want that for them? And how can, you want to be turned on by this stuff, and it's like, it's a person. It's a person, and they're being consumed. So in this dream, she's on the table. Something's raping her, and you can't see it. It's like invisible. It's demonic. It's the spirit of perversion, right? It's taking from her, and these men are watching. And these men are the men that watch pornography. And when it was done with her, I heard this horrible growl, like a demonic growl, and her limbs started bending back and breaking, and it was killing her. So it was like in the dream, these men were just watching her for their own entertainment get, raped, ravaged by this invisible force of perversion, which is what fuels the whole pornography industry, right? And when they were done with her, that spirit of perversion just breaks her, completely breaks her. And the whole time she has the mind of a child, because a mind of a strong woman wouldn't be involved with that. It's a hurt girl. And she realized at a young age that her body and her looks made her get attention, made her feel like some kind of worth or something. And the thing that sucks for these women is that they begin to embrace that, like they're sexy, they're this, they're that, and they embrace that identity, and all it does is get them used. They'll never know what men in their life really love them, because it's all about their body. It's all about sex. And so these poor women, they appear to be so confident, and they appear to be just like these sex goddesses, but they're so broken inside, and they're little girls. And if you could see that, next time, for you brothers who are bound by pornography, next time you try to go watch that stuff, think about the dream that God gave me. Think about that little girl on the table getting broken and consumed and killed. That's what's going on inside of these women. And I don't care what some of the women I've seen that they say that it's how they make their money and they're not tripping and they like it. No, they don't. Nobody likes to get used. A woman wants her heart touched. A woman wants her heart loved. A woman does not want to be used for her body and then forgotten about the next day once the new greater thing comes out. That is not what a woman wants. And all that money they make does not make up for it. So the lie that they're happy, it's just that, a lie. So I just wanted to share that. And if you ever want to have a healthy relationship with a woman of God, that stuff is going to get in the way. And you can hide it for so long, but it will come to the surface. And you will never be able to be fully intimate with your wife when that stuff's going on. And if you're battling with it right now, I would just recommend that you find somebody to tell. And if it's your wife, you need to tell her that you're battling with that stuff. And it's going to hurt her and she's going to be sad, but you need to get that accountability. You need to get out of that because it's damaging you. It's ruining your sexuality. You're going to be sexually broken and unable to love your wife in the way that you really need to. And you're going to be seeing every single woman around as a sexual object, to the point where you're tormented by the spirit of lust, to the point where perversion and weird thoughts are just running through your brain constantly with no kind of barrier or guard. You got to guard your mind. You got to get free. You got to start fighting against perversion and fighting against those things. It starts with cutting off the source, to stop watching that stuff. And then you go to God and you say, man, I'm twisted up and I need your help. And you start finding resources and people who have gotten free. I know people who have gotten free. And it seems like a miracle nowadays. It seems like almost every man deals with it. But there are men who are getting free from it, and they've been bound by it for 20 years or more. I know one. So I just wanted to share that. I'm not sure why. I just wanted to share that. So God bless you. Have a beautiful night. And I just pray that every brother that's struggling with this stuff, who hears this message, would be affected by God deeply in his heart, and that God would just deliver him from that stuff, because it's ugly. And I just pray for every woman who's been hurt by pornography or hurt by their man having wandering eyes, watching that stuff, them wondering what's wrong with them. It's not you. You could be a Brazilian bikini model, sister, and lust is never satisfied. You could have the most perfect body and beautiful face, You could lose that 50 pounds that you want to lose. You could get darker, lighter, longer hair, different color hair, different skin, whatever. You could switch yourself completely. And it wouldn't matter, because as long as a man is dealing with lust, the lust will never be satisfied. And it will always keep searching, and it will always be on the lookout for sexual things, and it's not you. So I just want to say that to my sisters. If you've been hurt in that way, it's not you. Don't kill yourself at the gym the next day. Don't be healthy, but don't compete with the world and what the world says is beautiful, because it's ever changing. It's ever changing, and it's never pure. So with that said, God bless you. Have a beautiful night. I hope this helps somebody.